It is Friday, the last day of October 2025. Good evening and welcome to Newswatch on Hope TV. On today's Conundrum, we take a look at the wave of protests in Tanzania following a disputed general election. The unrest has exposed deep cracks in Tanzania's political system and raised questions about the country's democratic future. Stay tuned for this. In the course of this bulletin, I'm Tess Njenga and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Mureithi. Let's kick off. We begin in Tanzania, where election-related protests have entered their third day, leaving more than 10 people dead as demonstrators clashed with police across major cities. The UN Human Rights Office says it has received credible reports of the deaths, but warns the toll could be higher due to an ongoing internet shutdown that's making verification difficult. The protests erupted after Wednesday's general election, which opposition groups claim was unfair and uncompetitive. Several key opposition figures, including Tundu Lissu, were barred or jailed ahead of the vote, effectively clearing the path for President Samia Suluhu Hassan and the ruling CCM party. Despite an extended nationwide curfew and heavy security presence, protesters continue to rally in Dar es Salaam, Arusha, and Dodoma. The army has warned it will assist police in containing the unrest as concerns grow over the government's response and the true extent of the violence.
Serikali ya nchi zingine ya nje ya Tanzania itusaidie kwa hili. Yaani kama mimi binafsi hiyo uongozi na ukataa.
Wito wetu kwa jamii ya kimataifa, UN na bunge la Umoja wa Ulaya na shirika zote za haki za binadamu ifutulie mbali uchaguzi huo na isitambulike.
Serikali ya Kenya na dunia nzima ituingilie kati, kwa sababu hiyo si haki na hatutaki hiyo kura iliyopigwa ni fake. Hatutaki na hatuhitaji kabisa, au sio? Ndio, si namna hiyo.
Now back into the country, the standoff between university lecturers and the government continues as the university's academic staff union, UASU, has rejected the government's proposal to pay the 7.9 billion shillings arrears in phases. UASU Secretary General Constantine Wesonga says the lecturers want the entire amount paid in a single lump sum before they resume work. Speaking during a press briefing, Wesonga accused the government of repeatedly failing to honor past agreements and vowed that this time the strike will continue until all demands are met.
We have all agreed that the money that is owed to our members is 7.9 billion. We are only asking that this money be paid so that we bring peace and harmony in the sector. It is money that is long overdue.
You pay 7.9 billion at once. The reason why dons are saying so, the government has been signing agreements with us and they renege. So lecturers have said they are ready to go the long haul.
This is a historical date. You have been owed this date for the last 8 years. And now you want to engage these members in paying their debt in another set of 2 years, taking us all the way to 2028. At the end of the day, that debt will have taken more than 10 years to settle down.
Leaders from Western Kenya have pledged to continue working with President William Ruto's broad-based government to advance national unity and development. Speaking during the president's development tour of Busia County, the leaders, mostly from the ODM party, said their late party leader Raila Odinga set an example by uniting the opposition and government for the sake of inclusive national transformation. Busia Governor Paul Otuoma said both government and opposition leaders will continue collaborating in the steps of Raila Odinga.
Wananchi wa Busia, Vile mnaambiwa baba alituacha wapi? Kwa broad based. Kwa hivyo sisi na Ruto ni ngapi? Sisi na Ruto ni ngapi? Sisi na Ruto ni ngapi? Mlio ya chura inaweza zuia ng'ombe kunywa maji? Haiwezi zuia ng'ombe kunywa maji. Si mnaelewa hiyo? Hiyo ni mlio ya chura, haiwezi zuia ng'ombe kunywa maji. So sisi tunasema Otuoma na Ruto ni ngapi? Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga aliniambia, ndugu yangu William Ruto, ndugu yangu mdogo, tupange hii Kenya, tuweke Wakenya wote pamoja. Tuondoe ukabila, tuondoe chuki, tuondoe mikawanyiko, tuondoe ubaguzi. Kenya iungane iwe moja. Na ndio sababu tukatengeneza serikali ya broad based, ile ambayo inaunganisha na kuwajumuisha Wakenya wote kwa mapana na marefu. Na ndio sababu hiyo leo katika hii jukwaa tunasimama sisi wote pamoja. Munaona Mheshimiwa Otuoma yuko hapa. Munaona Mheshimiwa Oparanya yuko hapa. Munaona Wetangula yuko hapa. Munaona Musalia Madividi yuko hapa. Munaona wabunge wetu tuko hapa. Na tumesema hatutaki tena siasa ya kugawanya watu.
Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has told off opposition leaders over early campaigns, urging them to wait for the 2027 electioneering season. Leading a delegation of ODM leaders, ODM Chairperson Gladys Wanga reaffirmed the party's commitment to continue supporting President William Ruto under the broad-based government. As Samia Dika reports, the platform was also used to drum up support for ODM's Boyd Were, who seeks to replace his father, the late Ngondo Were, as Kasipul Member of Parliament.
With only 27 days left for IEBC to conduct by-elections across different counties, ODM party has stepped up its campaigns to stamp its control over its Nyanza base. Speaking during a women's economic empowerment program in Oyugis Kasipul, Homa Bay County, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki drummed support for Boyd Were, promising full support of the broad-based government.
Mtu asikuja hapa kuwadanganya. Ate yeye ni wa broad-based lakini hayuko na candidate wetu. Candidate wetu ni mmoja na yuyu kijana ambayo ni Boyd Were.
In support of President William Ruto, the ODM leaders yet again reaffirmed their position, insisting Nyanza is experiencing development.
Walituacha katika serikali ya broad-based ambayo inaongozwa na President William Samoei, na 2027 chama ya ODM itajipanga. Hakuna siku ya chama ya ODM itarudi kwa opposition. Chama ya ODM itakuwa ndani ya serikali.
Sisi tumeona matunda ya broad-based. Tumeona tujaona. Si tumeona ile pesa ambayo imekuja siku hii ya leo. Isingepatikana ingekuwa hatuko pamoja. Lakini kwa sababu tuko pamoja, hii pesa yote imefanya imeingia wapi?
Taking on the opposition that is determined to ensure President William Ruto is a one-term president, DP Kindiki promised them a tough contest for State House.
Mimi nikiangalia hivi kuna watu watapata siku mrefu 2027. Watawezana na sisi? Watawezana na sisi? Si wataona siku mrefu? Ni fire si fire. Ni noma si noma. Ni two-term si two-term. Wacha nione wale wanasema two-term ya William.
The forum equally saw leaders expressing confidence of a longer working relationship now that ODM is considered a critical element in the broad-based government.
Tumeonyeshwa barabara ni ya kuunganisha Kenya. Ama namna gani? Sisi tunataka tutembee pamoja na tuhakikishe kwamba hakuna mtu yeyote atachukua haki ya watu wa Homa Bay. Ile maneno yote ilikuwa imepangwa itatimika na itakuja hata mingi zaidi.
Baba alisema anataka Kana kisiasa ni serikali. Baba alitimiza ndoto yake kwa kutuacha katika serikali ambayo tuko ya broad based. Hapo tunakaa.
As the death of Raila Odinga is expected to reshape the political landscape of a region long seen as an opposition stronghold, events leading to 2027 will be full of growing shift among Nyanza leaders towards collaboration with President William Ruto's government. For Newswatch, I'm Sami Adika.
Now, the government has issued a firm warning to politicians and contractors interfering with the execution of public projects, saying those involved in irregular procurement, stalled works, or misuse of funds will be banned and prosecuted. Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of delivery and government efficiency, Eliud Owalo, sounded the warning during an inspection and verification tour of national government projects in Trans Nzoia and West Pokot counties.
We are also witnessing a worrying trend of contractors who do not have technical capacity bidding for government jobs, undercutting other competitors by way of price, quoting low. Then they end up being awarded 2-3 different projects at the same time, yet they do not have the capacity to implement the project, the technical capacity to implement the projects. Let me caution once more that if there are contractors who have been awarded government projects and government has made the necessary payments based on attainment of the requisite milestones, but the contractors still are not able to implement those projects, we will blacklist those contractors and we will debar them from taking part in government projects in future. In equal measure, there's a lot of political interference in government projects where politicians are posing as contractors and influencing award of contracts to them. If you are a politician, stick to politics. If you want to be in the private sector, go to the private sector. But you cannot have your cake and eat it. You cannot be both at the same time. Are we together on that? So we are cautioning politicians also to keep out of implementation of government projects, starting from the procurement stage. We are also requesting the implementing government agencies to make sure that they do proper technical evaluation to assess the capabilities of contractors being awarded government contracts, so that we don't have a situation where so many government projects stall midstream on the basis of inadequate technical capacity of the contractors, or because a politician has been awarded a contract, government has made payments, and the politician has diverted the finances to other means. If government has made payments for implementation of certain projects, but the project is not progressing, there are ways and means through which government will recover the money, including but not limited to prosecution of the concerned individuals. So let us not play ping-pong games. The government has got no money of its own. This is actually public funds held in trust by the government on behalf of the public. So no government, no public money will be lost in the execution of projects. If a contractor has been paid and is not able to execute the contract, we will terminate the contract, on board another contractor, and will pursue ways and means of recovering the money.
Energy Cabinet Secretary Opiyo Wandayi has issued a stern warning to individuals vandalizing electricity transformers across the country, saying those caught will face the full force of the law. Speaking in Bungoma County after commissioning the last mile power project in Sikalame and Musikoma villages, Wandayi urged residents to help safeguard electricity infrastructure from theft and destruction. He also cautioned the public against fraudsters demanding payment for power connections, emphasizing that all connections costs are fully covered by the government.
Katika mwaka wa fedha tuliofunga mwezi wa Juni, Mheshimiwa Rais Ruto na serikali yake iliweka pesa kwa bajeti, pesa taslimu shilingi 1.8 billion kwa hii kaunti ya Bungoma peke yake, kusaidia mambo ya kusambaza nguvu ya umeme au stima. Katika mpango ya Mheshimiwa Rais, kila kijiji, kila boma na ikiwezekana kila nyumba inafaa ipate stima. Kwa hivyo nyinyi wananchi msiwe na wasiwasi hata kidogo. Mkae mkijua kwamba muko na serikali kuu, na muko na rais mwenye anajali maslahi yenu. Na vile vile nyinyi wananchi wa Kandui constituency mko na bahati sana kwa sababu ya huyu mbunge wenu. Huyu mheshimiwa Makali, mimi nimefanya na yeye kule bungeni. Kama mjuavyo, mimi nilikuwa bunge la kitaifa miaka mingi sana.
Well, on that note, let's take a short break. On Newswatch tonight, we have plenty more coming up, including West Pokot political showdown. Stay with us.
Hello there, my name is Beatrice Nudi, a host on Hope at Dawn with George Gishuru. Thank you so very much for your support and your loyal viewership. How is the signal in your area? We would love to know. Please do scan the QR code that you see on your screen so that we can know how to serve you better.
Get ready for an unforgettable worship experience.
Hakuja kuwa, hakutakuwa. Niwe nina hitaji. Mimi nataka ushirika na wewe.
Every Sunday on Ultimate Worship.
Ainuliwe Mungu wetu.
Where we bring you live music, powerful praise, and anointed gospel ministers and bands.
Nashangilia Mwokozi.
Join us every Sunday, 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. with a repeat at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m.
Everywhere I go, I see you right there.
It's not just music, it's worship unleashed. It's ultimate worship.
You're too faithful to fail me.
Only on Hope TV, where you look and live.
There's a world out there searching for hope, and you can help bring it home. By becoming a friend of Hope, you're helping us share the love of Jesus through Hope FM and Hope TV. With a donation of any amount, join hands with us to bring hope and point souls to the transforming power of Jesus Christ. Become a friend of Hope today by making your donation through the M-Pesa paybill number 933933, account FOH. For more information on how to become a friend of Hope, call 0116-212-723 or email customerexperience@hopefm.org or visit www.hopemediakenya.org. Friends of Hope, keeping hope alive.
Welcome back. Now, a fresh political showdown is unfolding in West Pokot County between Governor Simon Kachapin and his predecessor, Professor John Lonyangapo, over the latest Auditor General reports. Appearing before the Senate committee earlier this week, Governor Kachapin claimed that former county leaders, including Lonyangapo, former Deputy Governor Dr. Nicholas Atudonyang, and Kapenguria, Member of Parliament Titus Lote, failed to repay millions of shillings in loans issued under the County Car and Mortgage Revolving Fund. However, in a swift rebuttal, Professor Lonyangapo dismissed the allegations as false and petty, accusing Governor Kachapin of dragging his name into political mudslinging.
Karibu siku mbili tatu iliyopita nimesikisa mambo ambayo yalinakiliwa kule Senate. Nikaona video iliyochukuliwa kule Senate wakati governor ya West Pokot aliitwa kwenda kujibu mambo ambayo Senate oversight ilitaka kujua kuhusu West Pokot. Maajabu ni kwamba Gavana Kachapin akabadilisha hiyo session kuwa topic ya kuongelea Professor John Lonyangapuo. Unaelewa kwamba mimi nilikuwa senator ya kwanza, nikakuwa gavana ya pili. Na wakati nilipokuwa Senate, nilikuwa alternate chairperson ya committee yenye Kachapin aliitwa juzi kwenda kujibu maswali. Na hiyo committee ya Senate is a very serious committee. Inauliza maswali na lazima ujibu kulingana na vile umeulizwa. Na isiwe tu mambo ya kupeleka drama unless kama Senate ya CBC imebadilisha ile mambo ambayo jinsi ambavyo hiyo session inaendeshwa.
First Lady Rachel Ruto has presided over the handover of cochlear implant devices worth 120 million shillings, which is a donation that promises to restore hearing and hope to dozens of Kenyan children living with hearing impairments. The devices presented to the Ministry of Health under the First Lady's Voice of Children program were a donation from Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Asma of Morocco ahead of the Princess' official visit to Kenya next week. The First Lady urged the Ministry of Health to ensure that the cochlear implants reach the children most in need across the country.
Today we gather for a truly remarkable moment, one that speaks to science and innovation, but also to the power of compassion and international friendship. On behalf of the people of Kenya and His Excellency President William Ruto, I wish to extend our deepest gratitude to Her Royal Highness Princess Lala Asma of Morocco for this generous donation of cochlear implants valued at over 120 million shillings. This gift is far greater than its monetary value. It is a gift of sound, connection, and renewed possibility.
Storytelling is Africa's oldest form of wisdom tradition that has carried memory, shaped identity, and built community for generations. Today, as the media landscape evolves, stories continue to hold the powers to move us, connect us, and change lives. Speaking during a media roundtable held in Nairobi, organized by the Moth, a non-for-profit organization dedicated to the art and craft of storytelling, storytellers and advocates across Africa whose truths have shifted systems explored how personal narratives have transformed into powerful catalysts for social changes across Africa. They called on every African to use their personal stories to create the world that they want to see.
So you see, storytelling has taught me how to listen more, how to, connect more with people, to be empathetic, and also to, to share lived experiences. And so with that, when people say the stories, I'm like, wow, somehow I feel, I understand, I know what they are going through, and it's helped me to, and the group we work with. So what do? It's a call to action. For example, if it is a story about a survivor, when people share or I share, so do we just listen to the story and clap for it? No. What do? Do we want it to continue? And so it has taught me to call for action. And I've seen people say, no, this cannot continue. What do we need to do? And one of the experience I want to share, I've seen where, listening and sharing stories have led us to trying to have a policy change. it can be that powerful.
It is the bigger part of the connection that you mentioned, I think, in the description. The fact that is that when you're telling a life story to an audience, if you went through a moment, it's either you'll see them cry or also sympathize with you to an extent. If you had some fun kind of thing, you'll see them laugh with you. If you went through a weird scenario, you'll see them also going through that kind of sympathy with you. So with the life storytelling, I think there comes with it that perfect connection or mutual connection that is a bit emotional, that gets people moving along, which is a bit different from just someone reading your story and they click a like button. It's not very representative of the entire emotion that someone has gone through, but with a life storytelling, I think you're able to move through all those phases and you're able to actually get that kind of mutual understanding and connection with the team, with the people.
Now in business, sugarcane farmers in Bumula are protesting a proposal to shift them from the lower western to the upper western sugarcane growing zone. The farmers say the move is being forced on them. Bill Wanjala, one of the farmers, said they have supplied cane to Mumia's sugar company for years and will not accept to be redirected elsewhere.
Sisi farmers over 10,000 ambao tuko Bumula hatuna contract sa Nzoia au Naitiri, tuna contract sa Mumias. That means whether unataka kuwa director au uwe voter, utaruhusiwa kusimama kwa sababu una contract ya hiyo zone wanataka tuende, na pia hutapika kura. We are over 10,000 as I've said, and we have told Sugar Board, we have told all those in authority kuwa anything that will come as election without Bumula being in the lower zone, tutaipinga through court, and the kura will not happen because the court knows that the Bill of Rights gives all these farmers a right to belong to where they want in terms of association.
NCBA Group has projected that Kenya's economy will grow by 5% in 2025, supported by improved private sector credit growth, stable inflation, and increased fiscal spending. The outlook was shared during the NCBA Economic Forum held in Nairobi, which brought together policymakers, economists, and industry leaders to discuss how Kenya can strengthen its resilience in a shifting global environment.
NCBA unveils its projections for the economy, first reviews their projections for this year, and of course unveils the projections for next year. So today we made some projections of the economy. We believe the economy will grow by 5%. That's an upward revision from where we had projected, which was 4.8%. We're also quite optimistic that next year we'll be at about 5.1%. Again, as we do in the next economic forum, we shall review that. The second thing that we do in this economic forum is we invite some of the best economists in this country to give their own view about the economy, about the government policies, about the executive actions.
President William Ruto has lauded the progress at the Funyula Affordable Housing Project in Busia County, where 955 units are taking shape. Speaking when he inspected Funyula Affordable Housing Project in Busia County, the head of state said that the government is constructing over 10,000 affordable housing units, 14 modern markets and student hostels with a total capacity of over 6,000 beds. The president added that the efforts mirrors what the government is doing across the country, transforming towns and creating thousands of jobs for young people.
Na unajua hizi manyumba ndio itatusaidia. Wale wananchi wanakatakata mashamba hapa. Si mnaona wananchi wamekatakata mashamba kila mahali? Badala ya kukatakata hiyo mashamba, sasa watu watakuja kuishi hapa. Ile mashamba tutatumia kuzalisha chakula. Ndio tuondoe njaa katika taifa letu la Kenya. Nyinyi mnanielewa? Mnasema tuendelee? Mnasema tuendelee? Na hii kazi? Hii ni kazi ya miaka miwili peke yake. Si ndio? Hii ni miaka miwili peke yake. Mimi nataka niwaulize, kama safari ni hii, miaka 10 dunia hii itakuwa namna gani? Si itakuwa imebadilika? Funyula hoye! Funyula hoye! Ndio sababu hiyo mimi nimekuja hapa Funyula, ili wale wanaopinga mpango wa housing wajue ya kwamba Kenya inabadilika na vijana wanapata ajira na uchumi tunaizalisha.
And on a similar breath, President William Ruto has announced a major push to modernize Kenya's market infrastructure, saying it is key to empowering small businesses and boosting local economies. Speaking in Busia County during the laying of the foundation stone for Busia County Strategic Market Malaba Town, the president revealed that 14 new modern markets are under construction, promising to create jobs and expand trade opportunities.
Hapa leo nimeanzisha soko ingine ya shilingi milioni 350. Ndio vijana wa hapa, vijana muko, vijana wa hapa, kina mama wa hapa wapate soko mahali mtauza bidhaa zenu. Hapa tutakuwa na soko ya ghorofa 2. Nyinyi kwani nyinyi mnacheza mnafikiri tunajenga soko hivi hivi? Hapa tunajenga soko kubwa sana. Tunaelewana my friends? Na ni kwa sababu Waswahili wanasema ahadi ni nini? Na dawa ya deni si ni kulipa? Kwa sababu tulikubaliana ya kwamba tutabadilisha Kenya hii kutoka bottom kwenda up. Wale wamama wote sasa wanauza hapa barabarani. Wanauza jua, mvua ikikuja inawapiga, vumbi ndio hiyo, takataka ndio hiyo, si ndio? Lakini sasa hawa mama wote tutawapatia stalls. Tunahitaji wafanyabiashara 1000 watakuwa na nafasi kwa hii soko. Si namna hiyo? Na tutatengeneza tena parking kubwa hapo. Mahali wale wanataka kuja kununua mali yenu watapata mahali ya kufanya parking. Hawatakuwa wanasongamana barabarani. Tumekubaliana? Ile soko ya Magoro nitakamilisha ndani ya mwezi moja, tutakuja kupatiana. Ile soko ingine ya Ngurai huko tutarudi kupatiana. Soko tunajenga ingine hapa Amugura. Soko tunajenga ingine kule inaitwa Komodo ama nini? Si ndio? Soko ingine tunajenga Lukolis. Soko kubwa tena tunatenga Busia Town. Na soko zingine nyingi kwa sababu nilisema ya kwamba ili tuinue wafanyabiashara wa chini, we must build market infrastructure to support our micro and small enterprises ikiungana na kina mama. Tumekubaliana?
Welcome to the world of Hope Media, a media unit of Christ is the Answer Ministries that is committed to spreading the gospel of our Lord Jesus Christ through the transformative power of media. Hope Media is dedicated to utilizing various forms of media to spread the message of hope, love, and redemption to all people around the world. Hope Media consists of various units that work together to achieve this goal. These units include Hope FM. Hope FM is your #1 Christian radio station offering you discussions on current day-to-day issues, inspiring music, life-changing sermons, and news updates, broadcasting 80% in English and 20% in Swahili, with listenership of over 12 million every month. Hope TV. Hope TV programming is designed to inspire, educate, and challenge the viewer with wholesome content to reach various demographic groups, children, youth, and adults, both male and female, with viewership of over 24 million every month. Hope Recording Studios. Hope Recording Studios is a state-of-the-art recording facility that offers high-quality recording, mixing, and mastering services. It is designed to meet the needs of musicians, artists, and other creative professionals who require top-notch recording facilities. Hope Creative. At Hope Creatives, we believe that inspiring graphic design work doesn't just happen. It takes the right people with wild, out-of-the-box ideas committed to the same ideals, working together to make it happen. We listen, we learn, we brand. Hope Digital. Hope Digital is a creative digital unit within Hope Media. We are driven by a passion to creatively express ourselves while influencing you with the same creative energy in online spaces and beyond. At Hope Media, we believe that media can be a powerful tool for spreading the message of hope as well as grow your business through advertisements. And we do this with excellence. For more information regarding our services, please visit www.hopemediakenya.org or call us on 0709 861 180. Hope Media. We keep hope alive.
Welcome back. Kenya Premier League giants Gor Mahia have been fined 300,000 shillings by the Football Kenya Federation Disciplinary Committee for security lapses and crowd trouble during their season opener against Bidco United at Kasarani on September the 21st. The committee ruled that Gor Mahia failed to maintain order after sections of their fans stormed the stadium without tickets and clashed with police. Despite outsourcing ticketing and access control, the committee said the club still bears full responsibility for safety, citing CAF and FIFA regulations that require proper oversight on match days. Football Kenya Federation's Eastern Region branches came together in Embu for a colorful gala night celebrating excellence in regional football. The event recognized outstanding players, coaches, referees, teams, and football influencers who have made a mark across the region. The gala not only celebrated talent but also highlighted FKF's ongoing commitment to nurturing football growth and recognition at the grassroots level.
Siku ya leo tulikuwa tuna celebrate, tulikuwa na Gala Night. The Gala Night is geared towards empowering and promoting the local coaches, the local referees, and encouraging them for good work that they have done for us season 2024-2025, and appreciate them for the good work they are doing. It is a moment also to reflect on the things that we've succeeded. It's also a moment for us to look back and celebrate some of the successes, and also look at some of the things, some of the downfalls that we have faced, and also encourage other people who are upcoming, to encourage the other teams that are coming, to encourage other coaches and referees who are upcoming, that they can be able to get
positive inspiration looks like when these young ones have been recognized and they have a place to play. They have a role to play. They can come in and sponsor some of these events. They can come in and sponsor some of these awards. And on a different level, we are asking people like the county governments to look at how they can work together with the different FKF offices within the region.
Our first gala night in Eastern Region. This gala night has encouraged me in officiating matches, especially in our region and in the higher tier. It's a great move to our region, Eastern Region, and we are happy about this event.
And President William Ruto has pledged to construct a 900 million large stadium in Busia County. During his working tour of Funyula constituency, President Ruto said it is ironic that despite Busia producing world-class athletes, the county still lacks a stadium of national standards.
Tumetoa pesa ya serikali milioni 900 kujenga stadium kubwa hapa Busia town. Busia hoye! Busia hoye! Mnasema tujenge stadium kubwa ya kimataifa. Tuko na vijana wa kutumia hapa Busia. Ndio Busia inuke. Ama mnasemaje ndugu zangu? namna hiyo. Kwa hivyo tuendelee ama tuendelee? Mnasema tuendelee ama tuendelee? Nasikizeni niwaambie, hiyo kazi haingefanyika kama hatuna umoja.
Jeshi la Ulinzi la Wananchi wa Tanzania linawataka watu wote wanaojihusisha na vitendo vya kihalifu kuacha vitendo hivyo mara moja ili kuepusha madhara yasiyokuwa ya lazima kwa ustawi wa jamii na taifa letu.
Sasa hii ni siku ya 3 tuko hapa, tunaambiwa upande wa Tanzania kidogo network iko chini. Sasa hatuwezi vuka.
Mimi ni Mtanzania, gari yangu hii hapa, na siku ya 3 leo kuanzia tarehe 29 tuko hapa. Tunaambiwa hali ya Tanzania huko ni mbaya kabisa, magari yanachomwa, ukikuta unatembea barabarani. Kwa hiyo kama unavyoona sasa hivi tumestack hapa, leo ni siku ya 3, hamna kitu chochote, network yenyewe wamekata.
Hapa tarehe 29 kutoka nifike hapa tukaambiwa kuna shida kule, hatutafuka. Mpaka saa hii tuko hapo tunasubiria. Makarani asubuhi alikuwa hapa akaniambia hakuna system, so we are waiting, we are going Dar es Salaam.
Boda hapa ya Tanzania hawafanyi kazi, kwa hiyo tunasubiri mpaka network ikae sawa ndio tuweze kutoka hapa.
Serikali ya nchi zingine ya nje ya Tanzania itusaidie kwa hili. Yaani kama mimi binafsi hiyo uongozi na ukataa.
Kwa jamii ya kimataifa, UN na bunge la Umoja wa Ulaya na shirika zote za haki za binadamu ifutulie mbali uchaguzi huo na isitambulike.
Now, on today's conundrum, we take a look at the wave of protests in Tanzania following a disputed general election. The drumbeats of change are clearly loud as the state of pandemonium has plunged the country into uncertainty and raised profound questions about the state of democracy in the region. The government's decision to proceed with an election widely criticized as uncompetitive after opposition candidates such as Tundu Lissu were jailed or disqualified has sparked anger and disillusionment, particularly among young voters who feel shut out of the process. President Samia Suluhu Hassan's administration insists the polls were legitimate and peaceful. However, the UN Human Rights Office and international observers paint a different picture, reporting credible accounts of violence, deaths, and an internet shutdown that has made independent verification nearly impossible. That particular shutdown fuels the worst kinds of imaginations as to what exactly the government is trying to cover up. Reports that more than 10 people are dead as demonstrators clash with police across major cities paints a grim picture of the state of the nation. So, why did the government move ahead with such a contentious vote? Analysts suggest that the ruling Chama cha Mapinduzi CCM party in power since independence sought to maintain control and continuity, fearing that opening up the field could weaken its decades-long political dominance. Yet, the protests now sweeping through Dar es Salaam, Arusha, and Dodoma show that a new generation of Tanzanians is unwilling to accept politics as usual. They are demanding accountability, transparency, and inclusion. Whether these demonstrations mark the beginning of real change or are simply another cycle of suppression and discontent remains to be seen. However, one thing is clear: the unrest has exposed deep cracks in Tanzania's political system and raised questions about the country's democratic future. The election results are now shrouded in controversy, casting doubt on their validity, viability, freedom, and fairness. In the broader African context, Tanzania's turmoil mirrors a growing struggle across the continent between entrenched political establishment and increasingly assertive population calling for genuine democracy and change. Question is, will their voices be heard, or will the government continue to meet them with brute force aimed at silencing them? Well, that is today's conundrum. And it is a wrap on Newswatch tonight. On behalf of the whole team, thank you for watching. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. God willing, see you next month, sometime in November. I'm Tess Njenga, and our sign language interpreter is Boniface Murithi. Have a good night.